an epic interview, man. I've been waiting for this for some months, man. So look, let's get this thing started, man. Welcome to Bridging the Generation Podcast. I'm your host, Malak Arif. I got my homie guest starring today, man. My homie AB. You know what I'm saying? And today we got one of my favorite MCs, man. This brother has been a top tier MC for the past 15 plus years, man. You know, straight out of the Bronx, man. You know, straight out of the BX, man. We talk about 2010 freshmen, man. If you look back at that freshman class, man, a lot of heavy hitters, man. You know, we talking about, you know, classic mixtapes, man, classic albums, man. Top tier wordsmith, man. I'm talking about none other than the one, the only Mickey Factz, man. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
No doubt, man. Well, look, man, we got a lot to unpack, man. I don't want to hold you too long, man, but I got to start off with this, man. Like, first of all, man, how you been maintaining, man? You know, the whole pandemic, COVID situation. How you been coping with this whole thing, man?
Just trying to drown myself in work and positivity and inspiration. A lot of it, you know, was uncertainty. But as you know, us as Black men know, man, you know, we put all of that to the side, and we have families to take care of. So we have to shoulder the load and have a great deal of optimism going into every situation and scenario. So, you know, as the country kind of was in a space of disarray, I took it upon myself to show people that I've been working this whole time and you just didn't know it, and I'm prepared for stuff like this. So I started to, you know, do trillers, daily trillers of different verses and showing, you know, entertaining people, and that just kind of, you know, lifted a lot of people's spirits, letting them know that I'm here still entertaining you even through a global pandemic. And I just kept that energy going for the last year and a half, and you know, it's one of my more successful years as an artist, you know, was this past year. So it's been great.
Now you dropped the. I want to say this, man. I'm gonna let the homie AB jump in, but I gotta say this, man. Like, I interviewed you last year with the brother PA Dre, and he was fresh off the Warp Collages project.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like that project was very critically acclaimed, man. I really feel like you put your heart and your soul into it, like you do most music. And we talked about, you know, I don't know if you remember, but I asked you a question about, you know, what do you feel about a lot of artists like oversaturating the market with just throwing out projects? I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember
that. You told me, you said 2021, you plan on dropping a lot of music. So, you know, it seemed like that, you know, it seemed like you had like a change in mind, because you just dropped the EP that we talked about. You got some singles, but you know, what changed your mind as far as just dropping a lot of music, man?
Well, after Warp Collages dropped in November, Hugh, the project for my son, came out 2 months later.
Right.
January 26th. That went very under the radar, mostly because there was no promotion for it, and I put the project together extremely quickly, and we worked on it till like the last minute. I'll never do something like that again. But the project with me and Blue, that was supposed to come out in April.
Okay.
And we were waiting on features, and the features kept getting pushed back. And I was very I was very annoyed a little bit. So you got to think, you know, from January to August,
right,
I stayed afloat by you know, jumping on other people's records. You know, I was on the Ransom album, which, you know, people were saying it was one of the verses of the year.
Shit. Yes, sir.
Jumping on a lot of different artists' records, just kind of getting very, very crazy. Obviously, you know, I had the Rafe record. So
we let's slow out a little bit, because I want to talk. Listen, I get it. Like, I everything that you're saying, I've heard the homie AB. So what I'm saying is, as far as like dropping the rap, like dropping the
projects,
project,
right?
You've been dropping music. Let me clarify myself. I'm not saying that you didn't drop no music. So, let me just clarify that.
So the plan was to drop the EP,
right,
in April. Then I was supposed to drop my financial project that I've been pumping up for a while in July. Mm-hmm. Then I was supposed to have a project with my protege drop in September, and then I was gonna end the year out with Mouse 2.
Okay. I remember you talk about that Mouse 2 in our interview.
Right. So once the Blue project got pushed back, the whole schedule got shifted.
Right.
So now I'm looking to end the year out with an EP, and then I have a collaborative EP with another artist from Dallas. That should be probably dropping in like mid-January. Okay. And then Mouse 2's I'm looking at March, and then the Dinner Table I'm looking at again July. But now that it's just me, right, I can kind of focus on that and move in that direction like that.
Now, what do you mean when you say now that it's just me? What do you mean by that?
I'm not trying to I like working and collaborating with artists, but I realize that everybody just doesn't work like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if somebody hit me for a feature, whether it's a big artist or somebody's paying me for one, I try to get it done in 2 days.
Gotcha.
A lot of times artists take a very long time to get verses back. So
I heard about that.
So you got to plan months in advance, or your project will be stalled.
Right.
So for me, I'm looking to kind of just do things on my own. Gotcha. And move accordingly.
No doubt. Okay.
And just going back, Mickey, I got a question. Going back to the pandemic, like you mentioned, right? I feel like it's been like a blessing in disguise for so many artists, especially like yourself. Because I feel like when people were sitting in the house, they had to really pay attention to the lyrics, to the words. And I've seen like a resurgence of, the spirit of 94, I would like to say, right? Like that golden age era. And we start seeing that with the production, with the rhymes. And you mentioned like this was one of your best years. And when you think about it, like, we said earlier, I mean, you've been doing this for over 15 years. You had a lot of great years. What do you think, what made, last year your best year?
I mean, from a financial standpoint, it's probably, I would say it's probably like my third best year, depending on, the year's not over yet. Yeah. Depending on this last.
I'm about to say, man, the year not over, man.
Depending on these.
Don't count yourself out just yet.
Nah. Listen, depending on these last 45 days, I ain't gonna hold you. I might be a millionaire. So I mean, it's been a crazy.
Talk that talk, dog. You feel me?
I'm extremely blessed because I didn't expect a lot of the opportunities to present themselves in the way that they've been presenting themselves, and I'm just grateful, because I just work hard. I love this culture, I love it so much, and it's a blessing to be able to even say that publicly, like, yo, I might just be a millionaire before the year's up, and that's incredible to say.
Nah, that's beautiful, man. Look, I remember, and I actually wrote this down, man. I was looking at one of your tweets. I believe this was maybe a couple of days ago, but you said, and I quote, "As much as I rap, I'm ready to start creating my passion projects. Time to focus my pen in places that inspire my supporters as much as it does for me." So talk about that a little bit, man. What are you what are you insinuating when you said that?
It was really putting my pen in places where, taking my writing to places that I feel like need to just expand, creatively. Right. I was in a very weird space for a couple months. and you know, I kind of lost sight of who I was as an artist. And the only way for me to kind of get
hold on, Mickey. We can't just glide by that right there. Like, expound on it a little bit, man, because I feel like I know where you're getting at. But to the listeners, if you don't mind, like, talk about that a little bit, man, because we know as artists, man, you guys put your blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, man. And there can be times where, you know, you feel like you have to do something else. So you know, just you know, break that down to the people a little bit.
I just kind of felt like I was in this weird place where, you know, everything had to be super lyrical.
Got you.
And even records that I normally wouldn't approach super lyrically, like, you know, I have a record that I'm working on that is featuring Cyrock, and
you know, hey, that's from the city, man. That's from my side, Southeast DC.
He's incredible, and I wrote the verse, and you know, the verse is actually really, really, really crazy. But when I take a step back and I listen to it, I'm like, this is not who I am, and I noticed that a lot of my music was starting to sound like that, and I kind of got into a funk where I was starting to kind of like be like, why are you writing like this? What are you trying to prove? What are you doing? And I just kind of stopped writing for a while, and I kind of had to, you know, just kind of stop even listening to my music and just kind of, you know, live in who I am, right? You know, and work on other things. You know, start working with different entities, you know, in the finance market and in the acting space, and taking a step back and working on production stuff. You know, I just started to kind of look at things a little bit different. And once I got into that creative zone, I was like, okay, now I know who I am. I remember who I am again. And then that's when I made the tweet, and I was like, okay, now, because I was working on that project, the project that, you know, with the Cyrock on it, like, it was, this project is for the end of the year, because I haven't really put anything solo out since Hugh, which was January. So I was like, I need to end the year out with something with me on it. But the rhymes was just coming out. I was literally just trying to be this person I wasn't, and I was like, okay, let me take a step back, and now I'm getting back into that space where it's like I'm ready, and now the creative juices is flowing. It's like, okay, I got the title, I know what the merch wants. I know what the merch is supposed to look like. Right. I know how to approach the records now. And now, you know, it's becoming more of a passion project. And I want to get into that stuff, like the mouse stuff. You know, I got a project with Crisis that I'm, you know, working on. That's a concept It's a concept album, and it's very engaging. So it's like, okay, now I'm into that zone, and I'm doing something with Pete Rock. That's a passion project, and it's a concept project.
Christ.
So now I'm back in that zone. Before I wasn't in that zone. I was trying to be somebody that, you know, I didn't want to be.
No doubt.
And is it, and like you mentioned, you said, you know, you lost yourself, and I feel like that's something that many people kind of just gloss over when it comes to artists, especially within this past year, right? You kind of lose yourself when it comes to the music aspect, and just asking like the particular question, Mickey, like, what made you get back on track? You know, I know you mentioned the tweet and sums it up, but what made you get back on track? Was it something that you heard something in the past, or was it something just, you know, personally in your life that made you want to get out of that funk, you know, in a great creative space?
I would say it's Mouse 2. That project has been written. It's been written I wrote it in May of last year during the pandemic, and I revisited it, and I was like, this is a different level of nice.
Uh-oh.
And you know, again, I think what I was trying to do, I got sucked into being something that I didn't want to be anymore. And I you know, it's too much. I really don't want to dive too much into that piece of it. It was just more so like I saw myself just turning into something that I was always against. Like I never wanted to be that guy. So it's like, let me listen to this, and let me read these rhymes. And when I started to look at that, and I was like, okay, nigga, you good, you nice.
Right.
This is a different level of nice because you're exhibiting a completely different level of skill that we're not doing.
Yeah.
And then I began to appreciate what it is that I bring to the culture, and then I began to say, okay, now I'm back because I was somewhere else with it before.
Nah. I'm a piggyback off what you just said, man, because you know, like I've known how nice you've been with this pen for years, and most of us who know hip hop, we've known that for years. And it seemed like I said, man, do you ever feel like when I hear your music, man, you know, you still rap with this like this chip on your shoulder, man? Is it something that I'm not seeing? You still, the way you carry yourself is not the same way as you did the 28, 26-year-old Mick, but you still have this confidence. And do you ever feel like, you know, a lot of times, man, you have to let niggas know, man, like, man, hey, I've been doing this shit for a minute. Like me and the brother AB we was talking earlier, man, like bar for bar, you know what I'm saying? You can go at it with the best of them. And you got to remind us, man, you got to let niggas know, man, like, hey, you know, you bring your best, but you know, ain't nobody go, you know, ain't nobody go walk over Mickey, man. So you ever feel like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a chip on my shoulder in those months, right? Like, and the chip was growing. It was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now there's no chip on my shoulder because I understand the objective. And you know, I'm always grateful when high caliber MCs or top tier MCs, you know, reach back and be like, yo, I want you to be a part of this because of what you've been doing. And I proceed to go in there and do what I do. And, you know, I think it's shocking to a lot of people that sometimes, you know, I might come out victorious from a standpoint of not a competition, but more of like, wow, Mickey had a great verse. He might have had the best verse in the song. But I just kind of go in there just, you know, doing what I do. Again, I'm just happy to be here, man. Like, again, I don't know, man. It's a lot.
Let me say this. Let me say this. So I'm watching maybe about a couple of weeks ago, and I'm watching. Listen, let me make a disclaimer. I'm not trying to stir up any rap beefs or anything like that. But I was watching it live, man. When it was you, Ransom, Mick, RJ Payne, and Lupe, and you guys was talking about who's the best, you know, rapping right now.
Right.
And we know, you know, you mentioned how that started. Now, when you hear the brother, you got the brother Ransom, you know, he's having a resurgence.
Yeah.
JR Payne, he's having a resurgence. And I personally feel like you having a resurgence. So when you heard that, how did that really make you feel? Did you know, because we know we got some bars later, we gonna talk about that. But how do you feel about, you know, rappers from your era, or, you know, veteran rappers that have been doing this for a minute, having this resurgence in their careers? You know, what do you you know, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing. These talks of resurgences didn't happen years ago. There was no such thing as, once the door was closed on you back in the days, the door would not open back up.
It was a wrap. It was a wrap.
It was over.
Yep. It was over.
And you know, I'm grateful that I'm still here, man. It's a lot of guys that I came in the game with in 07 that are not here.
Right.
A lot of guys I met along the way in 08 that ain't here.
Right.
It's a lot of guys, you know, that looked up to me in 09 and 2010 that aren't here. They're not here.
Yeah.
And I'm still here, bro.
Right.
And I've learned from the great LL Cool J to always reinvent yourself. And you know, today I was looking through some photos on Facebook. I got hacked. My Facebook got hacked, and then I finally got it back about 2 days ago. And I was going through some pictures, and I was looking through all the years, and every year I reinvented myself. 2011, I was like, I'm gonna wear red frames. I wore red frames all 2011. 2015, I wore a fedora. All year I was just like, I'm gonna just do fedoras.
Yeah.
I wore fedora all that year. You know, 2008, all supers. You know, 2014, I'm like, I'm not gonna wear glasses this year. 2012, I'm gonna just have a wild beard. I never had a beard before. Let me just, and I invented myself each time. Reinvent. And you know, I already know what I'm gonna do for next year. I'm gonna shock people again. But I think that's growth.
Right.
And I'm just lucky to have this mind that I can reinvent myself and I can get better lyrically,
Right.
conceptually, and creatively. Right. When I think, you know, I do A- last year, and I'm like, man, how am I going top A-?
Yeah.
And then I got two concepts that's super crazy.
Right.
That's going on mouse, and then like, man, like, how did I think of that? And then this concept project that I got with Crisis, it's like, yo, this is crazy, right? So it's
hold on. So Crisis, he's gonna produce the whole project?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Crisis is mad underrated, one of the most underrated producers in the game. Period.
Shout out North Carolina, man.
Yes, the whole Justice League and all them. Knife Wonder doing their thing at Jamla.
Yeah. So
Mickey, I just wanted to, like, you know, elaborate on that because, you know, like we were just mentioning just earlier, you always have this confidence since you came in the game, right? You always had this confidence, you know, just braggadocious, just dope with it though. You know what I'm saying? It has so many different layers and so many so much variety when it comes to your music. And I feel like, you know, you one of the most influential MCs, you know. I'm just not saying that because you hear, but I'm talking about not just with rap, but with fashion. Like you mentioned, supers. You was the first cat that I seen wearing supers, and I seen Lil Wayne had supers, and seen, you know, our favorite rapper Jay-Z had supers.
Hey, Mickey, what the hell was that shit you was rocking around your head against Daylight, man? What the fuck was that, man?
Yo, that was a bandana visor that Y3 made.
Oh shit! You have been the only person I've ever seen with that. I've never seen anyone wear that.
Yeah, so it was a visor, but then there were straps that went down. So I tied it around.
Yeah. Oh, so the part that was tied, those were the straps.
Those were the straps on the visor.
Oh shit.
So I tied that joint around and had it like a whole thing.
No doubt.
And you know, Japanese fashion is always ahead of the curve.
That's true.
So I just kind of dived deep into Y3. So now it's like, okay, now this year, going into 2022 and beyond, I'm only wearing black clothing.
Uh-oh.
I'm not doing designer. I mean, if I
Janelle Monáe shit.
right, if I do designer, it's gonna be Y3. Obviously, my sneakers is Y3.
Right.
But my denim will only be made by a black man.
No doubt.
My sweats, if they're not Y3, only a black man, you know, or a black woman, black. You know, I only want to wear black people clothing or Y3. Right. That's it.
That's really dope.
I don't remember this, Mickey, man. This like when you came in the game, man. I don't remember this, brother. And you know, a lot of times, man, people say, of course, you know, somebody is not going to be the same 10 years later, man. But this is the thing I love about you, man. You know, you as far as the bars and the content has been consistent, but outside of the music, man, I really see. I don't know when this started, but I've just seen a whole different, like a level of growth when it comes to you as a man. I'm like, I told you before, when you came out, I did not like you. I'm not gonna lie. As a person, the reason why I didn't like you, I didn't fuck with you. I fuck with you as far, I can't discredit your bars. The bars was always, you can't, that's just is what it is. But you was coming at Wale, and Wale represent DC. So that was kind of like my little issue with you. And you was real arrogant, man. But now when I look back and I'm like, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like that has ever been like a hindrance, you know what I'm saying, as far as your career, man? Because again, like I said earlier, man, if you want to talk about bar for bar and we want to talk about projects, man, I could place the achievement and warp collages and some of these great projects. I could put these projects against some of the dopest projects that came out the past 10 years. So, what's your take on that, man? I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I always felt like that's just my take. What you think?
I mean, shout out to Wale, man, first and foremost, man.
Yeah, man, we take that personal, man. That was personal, because at the time we ain't really had no MC out of DC, man. So, you know what I'm saying?
I was a fan of Wale, man, and I wanted us to work together. We were the top MCs, right, at that time. It was like me and him. Charles was just getting hot.
Charles Hamilton, yep.
But it was really me and him. Yeah. And I wanted to work with him. Right. He acknowledged that we should work.
Right.
And it took too long for my liking.
Yeah.
and I was young, I understand that was the wrong way to approach it. Yeah. But at that time, I wanted all the smoke because he took too long.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we resolved it. He's a very good brother, man. I know people, he's misunderstood to a lot of people, but I understand where he's coming from and why he is the way he is.
No doubt.
In terms of my arrogance, there's different levels of arrogance.
Right? I was just about to say, man, because the arrogance that you have now is justified. I'm gonna be honest. The arrogance that you have now, it is justified. I have no problem with you talking your shit now. I'm gonna be honest.
I try not to be arrogant these days, though. I was very arrogant back then.
Yeah, very.
And the arrogance, there was levels. Like when I say levels, it's like hip hop is birthed off arrogance.
Of course, no doubt.
When you're performing, when you're at a photo shoot,
right?
When you're shooting a music video, when you're ciphering,
no doubt.
That's when you're supposed to be arrogant.
There you go.
I was arrogant when I wasn't.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. It was outside of the music, man. It was the shit that you was doing outside of the music. But go ahead.
There were times, I would take meetings and I would be on my phone, like blatantly on my phone. Yeah. We would go into label meetings and I would act like I'm that nigga. You gotta sign me. I'm that nigga. Like I was like that. I was turning things down. Like it was just, it's a time and a place for everything. And I had to learn that along the way in my life. So now where I am today, like this interview, I probably wouldn't have done in 2008. I
already know. I know that.
Probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But these days I'm more accessible. Mm-hmm. I know what it's like to be high up and then come crashing down.
Humility. Yeah.
And I don't ever want to experience that again. So, and you just don't know who's gonna be who.
That's right.
3 years from now, Bridging the Generations should be a top podcast, right?
That's the goal.
And if I turn this down now, and then we spin the block in 2024, and y'all the biggest niggas, and then I try to reach out to y'all, it's like, what? You know what I'm saying?
I try to tell people, man, the artist that we have on here is your level, man. So I'm honored to have you on here, man. This is for the culture. So there's an old saying, the same people you meet when you going up, the same people you meet when you going down.
That is very true, brother. And you know, I don't know if I ever want to go back down again. You know, I want to go up, and then I want to be here.
Right.
I want to meet people on the linear path.
No doubt.
And I'm happy where I am currently.
No doubt.
And I feel like this past year, especially this year, Mickey, like I feel like you've been getting like your flowers, and I feel like it's been overdue, personally, in my opinion.
I agree.
I know when I had you on my show, Yo, It's the Kicks last year, you know, which you was the third guest, so you gave me that shot, so that's much love. So, and I feel like, you know, when you doing interviews, you know, you was on the Smoke Dizza Personal Party podcast, you did Drink Champs. And I feel like
I was surprised.
Earn your legion, man. And I feel like it's been overdue. Like I was mentioning earlier, just not in the booth. But when it comes to fashion, like I meant, you know, I feel like you really is influential when it comes to that blog era. You know, we mentioned Wale. You and Wale helped push in the blog era. Now we got SoundCloud. Now we got streaming. So I feel like you know, you all was ahead of that curve. And I feel like you've been getting your flowers. I've been seeing you doing a lot of interviews, you know, a lot of people reaching out for features. Mm-hmm. How that makes you feel, you know, just getting that love and seeing that like coming in full circle now.
It's overwhelming because again, you know, a lot of people don't get that second chance.
Talk about that.
You know, I feel like I'm on my third or fourth chance, bro. You know, if we look at my career, right, like I get popping in 08. I do the Honda commercial 09. I do a record deal in 2010. The label folds in 2011. Do a new deal with RCA. I leave the label in 2012. I quit music in 2013. So once you quit, that's it.
Yeah.
I come back 2014 with two great projects. Spin the Block 2015, tour with Lupe, put out my first album 2016, you know, and then 2017, you know, do the Battle with Daylight. 2018, more mixtapes, tour with Lupe again. 2019, you know, put out more projects. Pandemic hit, and we look where we at. Like I would have never like. It's a lot of downs. I had a lot of ups, but I had a lot of downs.
Right. And
most artists would implode.
No, that's a fact.
Under that pressure.
What inspires you, man? Like when you know, because as far as talent, man, I feel like, you know, you in a league of your own, man. You know what I'm saying? But you have seen peaks and you've seen many valleys, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Without me trying to be all poetic and shit, man. Like, what inspires you, man? Like to like keep pushing through, man, to keep moving forward. Because that's a question I like to ask a lot of artists, man. Because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of distractions that come along the way in this game, and we ain't gonna go into everything. But you know what I'm saying? You have seen a lot in this game, but you have always been consistent with this music, man. So what really inspires you to continue doing this shit?
Well, right now it's my son and my wife.
Oh, you just had a kid.
Yeah, I had my son in 2020. He's a pandemic baby.
No doubt.
But so the past 2 years, like it's been him really, because I want to make sure that, you know, my family is secure.
Right.
Because you know, life is just not promised. So I wanna work as hard as I can to make sure they're good. Before my son was here, it was my wife. And then before she was here, it was just the will to live. You know, I kind of compare it to like Jigsaw.
Right.
When Jigsaw in the movie Saw, he got into his accident when he wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
And then when he felt the pain, he was like, maybe I don't want to die. And he's like, you know what, I'm gonna will myself to live, and that's kind of what I took on since 2014.
Okay. Yeah. Well, look, I want to switch gears, man. I want to get on a lighter note, man, because you know, recently, man, you had the Chess and the Charlie Clips battle, man, and at Chris Brown house, and guess who I see right behind Chris Brown? And I'm just sitting back like, holy shit, man. Like, what I want to know is, man, how does that work, man? How do you get the invitation to Chris Brown's house, man, for this type of battle, man? Like, how does that work, man? Before I want to get into the whole battle thing, before we even start talking about, you know, these epic battles that you have had, how the hell did you get that invitation to Chris Brown's house, man? How does that work?
Well, you know, I was scheduled to be a part of a production that deals with high level media and a big cable network.
Okay.
That fell through, but my flight was already booked to go.
Gotcha.
So I go to the event and I hit Beasley up and I'm like, yo, I'm hearing y'all having another event tonight. What's up? He's like, yeah, pull up. Yeah, you good? So I just pulled up.
Okay.
And I was able to kind of be there and see that battle live firsthand. It was dope.
Which is so you know, I gotta ask you, man. So who you think won, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that we know that you are heavily in go. I don't know what's your stance on battle rap, and I want to ask you about that a couple of minutes later, a little bit later. But as far as that battle, because I believe it was a dope battle.
It was.
Who do you think won that one?
I give that one to Chess. I give it to Chess. I thought Chess.
Why?
I gave Chess the second round. I thought Chess' second round was dope, and I thought Chess did enough in. I believe it was I forgot. I gotta rewatch it. I mean, being there live, I think I gave Chess the third round. I thought Charlie was focused on Nunu a little bit too much.
Oh man, you kind of. I gave it the clips. I gave it a clips 2-1. I think I gave Chess that first round. You know, and this is the thing. You know, the way I view battle rap, and this I really want to get your take on this, because this is the reason why, you know, I respect what you do. Because I remember, and the reason why I gave it to clips, because I love artists that don't have to go into the gun bars 100 times. That's me. That, like, personally, that's just really not my thing. And looking at the battles that you have had with guys like DNA, Danger Zone, Cash Blitz, of course the infamous battle with Daylight, which I got you winning that one. The thing I love about you, man, is that you was able to dominate these, you know what I'm saying? And maybe not dominate, but to fairly win these battles by just bringing your lyricism, bringing content. So that's my issue with Chess. I'm gonna be honest, and with a lot of guys that with the gun, but that's just personally, it's just really not my thing. So I think that would hold Chess back as far as talent. You know what I'm saying? Of course, dude is dope, but I like the wittiness and the charisma that clips have, and I feel like you do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So when I used to hear people say, "Oh, Factz, he lost this one," and him, I'm like, you only saying that because you want to hear these gun bars. If you want to judge on content, you want to judge on substance, you want to judge on double, triple entendres, you can't say, I can't really say that you lost any of those battles. Maybe, and I told AB, toss it between DNA. If somebody got DNA winning that one, I don't have a strong argument. I got you winning that one. But outside of that, the other ones are clear W's. And I ain't on here dick riding or nothing like that. I personally feel like
I agree.
You fairly won those.
I agree. I mean, I think, you know, the DNA battle, you know, which shout out to him. I think he was the best he's ever been against me.
That was a classic, by the way. That was a classic battle.
DNA niggas can say what they want. That was a
classic.
DNA is top 10.
He is. He's a legend.
Top 10. He's a legend.
Yeah. I just feel like if my side is reacting more to my bars,
right,
people are not thinking that I got washed. And I think that's the difference. Like, because he was getting reaction to stuff that I didn't think he should have gotten as loud of reaction.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And when you listen to my stuff, you hear
exactly.
You hear them trying not to react.
Yeah.
But I was saying some cold shit, man. Like, and it was, I was in the room like, I can't believe this is not getting any reaction. And it was mind boggling. Like even that bar when I was like, you ended up broke in the casino out of order. That's just forever though. It's crazy how you rep them. Roulette, lose that, too stressed, you don't painfully regret it. Gambling, your friendship is criminal. You aiding in the bet. Like, what? Aiding in the bet. Yo, and the fact that they didn't go crazy for that.
I wanted to turn that shit off, man. I was like, and that's the problem that I be having with bat. Like let's kill the popularity. I get it. We all have certain guys that we like, man. But when a guy comes and bring it, man, you can't shut your ears off and your mind off like you didn't hear that shit. Like the Robert Ory bar that you had against in Daylight against Day. I was like, man, did y'all just hear what this man just said, man? Like, this shit is, come on, man. And for you to be an actual artist, man, to just jump in that arena like that, man, I'm not gonna lie, Mick, I was surprised, man. So with that being said, like, tell me what's the difference as far as like your mindset when you going from being an artist to just jumping into that battle arena, man? Because we talk about guys right in your face saying the most disrespectful, like, what type of mindset do you have to get in to go from artist mode to battle rapper mode? I think a lot of fans, people like myself, we want to know.
I go into this mode where I'm trying to say the illest stuff. It's not like first of all, it's weird because you're thinking about a person from the time you're booked until, it's time to go down. So you're thinking about this person all the time. So you're reciting this stuff, you're harboring feelings. And when you finally get on stage, you let it out. But on top of that, like, I'm sitting there trying to think of stuff that's never been said before, wordplay that's never been used before, bars that's never been said, and then it got to be 100% perfect, and not choke and not embarrass yourself. And then you got to sit back and listen to the person get crazy on you, and you got to remember that you still got 2 more rhymes or 3 more rhymes to go. It's a tough space to be in. Mentally, you just kind of have to place yourself in a different place. And I was lucky enough to have great sparring partners and Bourne and Chilla Jones and 100 Bullets, and those guys. I was able to kind of put together and craft together some material that I think is fine wine. I think if you keep going back and listening, to what it is that I was putting together, you're gonna be like, yo, this is masterful.
I told you, I got you. I got you I really don't have you losing one, but if a nigga want to say DNA, I don't have a strong argument. I think he did his thing. But if you ask me, you ask me who do I think won, I got you winning that one as well.
I appreciate
that. The rest of them don't even bring those shits to the conversation. To me, those are clear, definitive wins, in my opinion.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For real. Thank you.
And Mickey, just to get your opinion when it comes to battle rap, since we on that topic right now, and I think, in my opinion, I feel like battle rap is really in a great space because, like, Malarkey was just mentioning earlier about the gun, the gun punchlines and stuff like that, which I'm a fan of. I love that shit. Like Rock. I love that shit. Like I've been a fan of Smack.
I'm in my 40s, man. So forgive me, man.
I just because I've been a fan of Smack since the Math Hoffa days, and with cats like that, since the DVDs. But I do like right now because it's a great balance. But I remember at one time where cats was going to grind time. The cats who wasn't with the gun bars like that was URL. But now you seeing more variety, like you seen Daylight, the battle against Tay-Rod. Tay-Rod had to get out of his element against Daylight. He even said it. Like he couldn't rely on the gun bars. He had to get out of his element. I feel like that helped Tay-Rod. That was amazing. I feel like if Tay-Rod would have went against anyone else, he would have won. But Daylight was just on one. And you seeing even other cats in the battle round, B-Dot. You see DNA. Speaking of DNA, he ditched the gun bars now. You know, you got King Los, who he just went against.
Shout out to King Los.
How do you feel right now, Mickey, like seeing that progression that we've seen in battle rap? So many different styles.
I mean, I like the fact that guys are trying to not be so violent in their content, you know, because at the end of the day, like, we're not even really a violent people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we can be, but typically we're not just like a violent people. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's dope to kind of see brothers actually putting stuff together that work well on so many different levels. I like it. I enjoy it. You know, I mean, obviously, when I jump in, I'm gonna have a gun bar here and there, but it ain't really like over the top. A lot of the reasons why a lot of my content works well and it can be original is because I don't focus and zero in on violent content, because that lane is oversaturated. So that's
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. It is.
So that's all I'm saying.
So
go ahead.
So for me to, you know, break down Daylight and then do the danger zone with the check-in account, check-in, you know, do that, and then, you know, to break down Jurassic Park and then be like, that stuff is like creative lyricism that is not really exhibited in that culture like that. So I do my best to try to, you know, approach it differently so people can kind of have that respect for it on that level.
I agree. That's and like I said, I don't want to. Like I said, I respect lyricism at the highest level. I respect the creativity, but like you said, I just personally feel like it's an oversaturation with the gun bars, man. I get it. It can be overkill. So with me saying that, man, I want to jump into something else. So real quick before we get up out of here, man, because I know we running on a little bit over the hour, and I don't want to hold you too much longer, but I gotta get into this. I remember Ransom saying, you know, like I said, Ransom and the brother RJ Payne said they the best rappers in the game. I touched on that. And a little bit later, I remember Ransom saying something I think that really slid under the radar, but I kind of agree with him. And this is what he said. He said, I really think guys like Mickey Factz and guys like Lupe, he said, I really think these guys look down upon us, man. Like with the way they write, like, the way he put it, he was like, with their little gun bars and their little street shit. And it's like, and I don't know if you have ever answered this question, but I pose this question to you. Do you respect guys like that, man? Do you respect what they do? Because a lot of people can throw you in the miracle. They'll throw you in the lyrical category. And I necessarily don't put you in that category, but I can see how some people do. And obviously Ransom, and again, it's not me trying to start up nothing with Ransom, because I fucks with Ransom, he the homie, but he kind of share the same sentiment. And I could be wrong. Maybe we don't know what the fuck we talking about. But does Mickey Factz, when you hear guys like the Benny the Butchers, because he mentioned Benny the Butchers, the 38 Specials, you know, guys like him, because they don't rap like the way that you rap, do you kind of like feel like in a way like that's kind of like beneath you in a sense?
No, not at all. I grew up listening to these guys and listening to that style of rap. Like, I'm from New York, so the Locks. Right. I grew up on the Locks. I grew up on Big. I grew up on, you know, that whole mixtape circuit where it was Graph and Ransom, the 18, Joe Budden, Pap, Joel. Like, I listened to all of these guys, so I always admired these guys, and I still do. And even now, like 38 Special, Ransom, Conway, West, you know, there's so many others, you know, Makami, and, you know, I could be here all day naming guys.
Right.
You know, so for me, RJ, you know, for me, I look up to these guys. You know, when Ransom asked me to be a part of his project, I was honored. I was really honored. I was like, man, because his resurgence was beautiful to see.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful to see, and I saluted him on it before a lot of other people did, because I saw it, you know, and I was like, man, this is Ransom is back. This is crazy. So I think he said that I think he really meant it for Lupe. But I don't think Lupe looks down on him either. I don't think Lupe looks down on him or anybody else in that lane. It's just we have different lanes. I can't rap about that stuff. Like even when he asked me to be on his album, and you listen to the song that we did, like he's talking that street shit.
Right. And you went a whole nother.
Yeah. My first lines is avid reader.
Right.
On a ransom project, avid reader, learning through pages I kept in trapper keepers, master thinker, studying paintings hanging in galleries. Like that's come on.
Left Earth. He left Earth over that big Ghost production. Left Earth on it, dog.
And that's but you see, like I kept the pattern, but I did it my way. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And turning down divas who look like Catherine Zeta. Like, come on. Like I was bugging out. Like it's and for me, I appreciate a good drug session.
As do I. As do I.
I appreciate it, but I don't engulf myself in it because at first, for one, I can't rap that way. I can't rap about it because I don't know a thing about it. And two, I know it's purely entertainment. It's purely entertainment, and be talking about his past life. Whereas me, avid reader, I'm always reading something.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Now I had to, like I said, I don't know what other interviews you have done, but I have never seen anyone ask you that question because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of shared that same sentiment, and I didn't really. Let me put it like this: I didn't really feel like you were one of the guys that looked at guys like Ransom or Benny the Butchers like that. I had a certain inclination. Now Lupe, I'm not gonna lie, guys because like Lupe and I don't want to say some other guys, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel that because the way that Lupe and even you to an extent when you guys came on and was defending yourselves, man, you kind and I saw that 2008 2009 arrogance of Mickey, man, and it and listen, for a second it seemed as if you was kind of like brushing them guys off, like, are these guys serious, like thinking that they can rhyme with us? No. But I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, yo, hold up. You gotta know that Ransom is like a problem.
I don't know
if Lupe knows, but I know that Mickey knows that Ransom is a problem.
I don't think that was ever my stance. My stance was always, I don't care to be the best. I do not care to be the best. If you guys think y'all better than me, cool, it's fine with me. It is a never-ending cycle.
That is true. I
agree.
And I don't even really like even getting into these conversations because at the end of the day, Mickey has his own fan base. Mickey has his own lane. You do what you do, and you're very distinctive. You stand out in that lane. You a giant amongst the other giants in that lane. Yes. So when I think about like guys who you want to say, oh, is so-and-so better than so-and-so? We could split hairs all day, but if you're going to be talking about somebody better than Mickey Factz, you better bring me a top tier MC. Don't be bringing me no damn so-and-so MC Gusto. Like, you better bring me a top tier MC.
I agree.
And I'm going to say this, and this ain't no dick riding shit. Ain't nobody mopping the floor with Mickey Factz.
Nobody.
No.
You might. If you say a nigga better than Mickey, leave it at that. But mopping the floor, we gotta get out of this dick riding. I know I'm saying the same shit, but we gotta stop with the so-and-so is better and no, he can't fuck with him. Like, what you mean Mickey can fuck with anybody in the game? What are you talking about? Now, if you want to say so-and-so better, but don't you ever, please, niggas, stop fixing your mouth to say this crazy shit as if you can bring your top MC and Mickey can't go bar for bar with this dude. We gotta stop that. It's going forward, 2022. Can we please stop the weirdo shit, man?
Hey,
that's my PSA. That's my PSA.
Only thing I can say to that is, people need to do their due diligence. People need to research and listen to 14 years worth of content, of bar work,
consistency.
I could get crazy, but I'm not trying to get crazy. All I'm trying to say is I think people need to just, research on who I am, what I've done, what I've said over the years, how I've, some of the stuff I've been saying for over 10 years ago, people starting to say now. And that's all I can really say.
No doubt. Well, look, Mick, man, it's been an honor, man. You got anything else you want to follow up, before we get up out of here, man?
Man, Bridging the Generations podcast, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on this interview. I'm always honored and blessed to have the ability and privilege to contribute to the culture in this way. And I'm glad you guys are still around, and I'm hoping, when the next time we do this is, it's bigger and better. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Well, you got anything else that you want to talk, like as far as music? You know what I'm saying? I know you mentioned, some shit by the end of the year. Please, hey, by the way, please go ahead and download, stream that Rafe. Stop playing at some of the illest bars that came out in 2021. Stop playing. Go ahead, run it.
Go ahead.
Go download and stream The Narrative with me and Blue. Go listen to that before you listen.
Shout to Knots on that beat.
Hold up. Yeah, I just skipped over that, man. I said we was gonna get.
You gotta talk about that before we. You gotta talk about that.
We gotta talk about that.
I want to know about that.
Yeah, man. How did y'all put that shit together? Because I was highly surprised that you link it with Blue and Knots, man. Talk about that, man, before we get up out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I already had a relationship with Knots from doing the Achievement album. And me and Blue was on tour 2018, and while we were on tour, I was like, yo man, we should do a project together. He's like, all right. And then we just kind of got together, and it was a blessing that we picked Knots to produce it, because he's produced for me and he's produced for Blue. And we put this dope project together where two MCs kind of you got one guy that's visceral and intellectual, and then you got this.
Shout out to Blue.
You got Blue, who's this esoteric poet, right? Who just he just speaks to a different kind of feeling, and I'm very lucky to have been a part of his journey, and we were able to put together something that was really dope, and I'm glad people really enjoyed it.
We gonna get a part 2. That's my only problem, man, that I wanted more, man, because when you have a project that's short, it leaves you really no room for error, and you accomplished that. It was like a fix. If you want to hear some nasty balls, some substance, boom, get your fix off that narrative project, and that's one of the things I love about it. But I'm just like, man, I would love to get a part 2, man. I'm gonna be honest.
I think me and him spoke about a part 2, but I think it'll be more so from a standpoint of, I think we spoke about like extending the project a little bit longer, making it like in a deluxe version, so that it'll turn into an album as opposed to an EP. Gotcha. But aside from that, like, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if we'll get a part 2. I know I'm on his next project that he's working on right now. Bodied it, like, when I heard, let's just put it like this. He's working on a new project, and the producer hit me up about it. And the producer was like, yo, I want you to be on this song. And I was like, all right, I got you.
Right.
Now, mind you, I'm in this funk that I'm in. So I didn't even listen to the track. Somebody hit me up to get some feature work done. So I was like, okay. So I booked a session, and I knocked the feature work out. And then I'm like, all right, let me do this Blue record.
Okay.
So they cut the beat on and the song on it. The beat is absolutely insane. Like it is.
You ain't gonna tell us the producer, man. You gonna give us a hint?
Can't tell the producer. That's his work. I can't do that.
I feel you.
The beat is crazy.
Yeah.
Blue's verse is crazy.
Blue get busy.
I sat down, I heard it, and I had to listen to the song like 4 times. I was like, yo, I don't think I could do this here. I might need to sit with this. After the 4th listen, mind you, like, again, it's just his verse on it. So like, I'm listening to his verse to get an idea what the concept is.
Feel it. Right.
So the 4th listen is like the 5th minute. I said, I'll be right back. I wrote that verse in 10 minutes. Came
Holy
back
shit.
and I bodied that verse.
I know that's right. Yeah, man.
I feel bad, like how bad I killed that verse.
Yeah.
I killed that verse. I can't wait for people to hear it either. And shout out to Blue for allowing me to be a part of his new project. You know, part of that legacy that he's put together.
And I just want to touch on something before we leave, though. Just speaking on that project, the narrative with you, Blue, and Nas. I feel like that's a special project for a lot of your core fans because, like you mentioned, you were the last one still standing from that freshman cover list, and Blue was on that list.
Yeah,
and, you know, you and Blue is one of them. Currency, Wale as well, Cuddy, but y'all, you know, you were the last one standing, and Blue. You know, he got a resurgence as well. You know, he kind of went away from it. And he got a resurgence. And for you all to link up, it's kind of like that blog era coming in full circle. Even the Asher Roth appearance, you know. So that's like
that tripped me out, man. I'm not gonna lie. I
you know,
where the fuck that came from. I had no idea what the fuck he was doing, man.
Yeah, I was happy that Asher was able to lend his talent to us because I didn't know if he was gonna do it or not. But the fact that he stopped by and made that happen, you know, again, I'm grateful, man, because a lot of times stuff like that, people will be like, nah, I don't want to do it. But he was down, man. I'm always forever grateful for anybody that's down to participate in good hip-hop.
And he's still nice. With it.
Yeah, he's very nice. He's
still nice.
That's Asher though. What you expect, man? That's
still nice.
Asher.
Hey, I know we keep saying we get up out of here, and I swear we about to do that, man. But I gotta ask you this, Mickey. That 2010 freshman class, man. Do you think that's actually the best XXL freshman class ever? Because I'm looking at the list. Let's read this shit out. This is crazy.
It's the best.
Only for the people who may not remember this class. We talking about okay, now, hold up. We got Wale. We got my bad. This is let's just put it like this. That class, man, do you think there's another XSL freshman list that's better than that list, man? I thought I had the list right here, but I don't. But
I think we're in competition. I think there's like two other.
2010.
The one after us is pretty hard to top. You got Cole on that one.
Yeah, Nipsey.
You got Nipsey on that one.
Yeah.
You got Sean on that one.
Oh, yeah.
I
thought Sean was your class.
No. You got Big Sean, Nipsey, Cole. You got Wiz on there.
Was J Rock on that cover too?
J Rock. Yeah, J Rock.
J Rock was on that cover.
Freddie Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs was on that cover.
Never mind. Let's get out of here.
That's a hard cover to top.
But I will say, Mickey, your freshman class is very influential outside of the booth.
That's a fact.
Y'all influenced so much different styles and trends that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we influenced a lot of what was going on in that second class. I remember Big Sean just Big Sean just trying to get on, trying to be what we were. I remember, I was doing marketing for Nipsey at the time through Epic. I remember Wiz opening up for me. I remember all of that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you was one of the first cats to have a commercial. Out of like independent. This independent. Like now,
that's a tough one, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm sorry. Now I had to. Let me stop y'all for. I can't really say that 2010 is better though. I'm looking at it right here, man. We got Wale. People forget how big B.O.B. was, man.
Yeah, he was. B.O.B. He was huge. He was huge.
B.O.B. If you want to compare any artist as far as like, we talk about numbers and movement. I don't think nobody from 2010 was probably bigger than B.O.B. Maybe J. Cole.
This man did tracks with Taylor Swift.
And maybe Big Sean.
With Taylor Swift.
What about Wiz? Wiz is pretty big.
Yeah. Wiz is huge.
Okay.
Cole is huge.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a toss up, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's a toss up. I don't have
the B.O.B. commercial reign was, I ain't gonna front, like
this commercial. It was tough.
It was tough. Them
tough.
airplanes, them tracks he did with Bruno,
with Eminem,
with the Eminem, like. But no,
damn, with Currency, you got Currency, you got Ace Hood, you got Cuddy. Shit.
Yeah. Now those classics.
Man, niggas forget how nice Corey Guns was when he man. Come on, man. Let's come on, man. Let's relax with all that. Not saying you, AB, but I'm just saying, like, I hate how people try to make it seem like the 2010 is clearly better than the 2009. It's a toss. To me, it's a toss up, man.
I agree. It's a toss up. They style. It's so great.
Wale,
Wale,
Factz, Currency, Cuddy, Blue. Come on, who's the nigga that's not nice on here? Who like?
I would have to say 2010. I mean, I think 2009, 2010, and low key 2016's list is kind of insane. 2016 list is kind of crazy, bro. Look at that, man.
I got to look back on the 20. Was the 2016 list? Was Isaiah Rashad on that list? Was it Rashad?
Ooh, yeah. Nah, God damn.
No, it wasn't that list.
It was Yachty, Designer, Dave East, Denzel Curry,
Uzi Vert,
G-Herbo, Lil Dicky, 21 Savage, Anderson .Paak, Kodak Black.
Yeah, man.
All cats.
I still got that 2009-10 above that, but that 2016 ain't no slouch either.
No, it's not.
Because the reason why I say I love those the 2009 to 2010. Like, let's see y'all stand the test of time. Let's see y'all in another 10 years. I think everybody from that 2009 to 2010, man, I say about 75% of y'all still have movements, still have a core following that support and love everything that y'all do. Time will tell with the 2016. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, we 12 years in. Cuddy just got an Amazon show. You know, exactly. I'm working on some crazy stuff. Like, it's mind blowing. Some of the stuff I'm working on. Currency is still at the top of his game. Exactly. You know, me and Blue just did something crazy. I think Corey's getting ready to put something crazy out. You know, Wale just put out an album, #1 album.
Yep. You know, B.O.B. just dropped. He just dropped something last week too.
The only person that's kind of a little shaky is Charles.
Charles. Yeah.
But even him, he has a cult following. They ain't going nowhere.
No, Charles' buzz was, his buzz was crazy.
Sonic.
His buzz was crazy at that time.
All right, man. Well, look, let's get up out of here, man. Well, Mickey, man, it's been an honor to have you on the platform, man. You know, words can't explain, man, how much I appreciate your contributions to the culture, man. So all I gotta say, man, just keep doing your thing, man. I love what you got going on, and I expect nothing but greatness, man, from you, brother.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Bridging the generations. Keep it live.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good night, bro.
Peace.